Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Five Nations Playoffs 2025. We are on track 1. This is game 3 on this track today, which I think makes it game 13 all weekend. And something we are going to have our, this is our Tier 2 WFTDA bronze medal playoff game. Yes. So we've got Cambridge Roller Billies playing in green today, and we've got Rebellion Roller Derby playing in black. These teams have already faced each other this year, so they came first and second, Rebellion first, Cambridge second in Tier 2 North. So they played each other not even that long ago on the 7th of June. And Rebellion took the win on that occasion, 184 to 114. Rebellion have won every game in Tier 2 North this year, and they lost by 3 points to Wiltshire yesterday. Oh, that was a close game. It was an incredibly close game. It was very exciting. I'm still not quite over that game yet. So let's hope for something equally exciting today. So we'll give you the rosters really quickly. So as I said, playing in black for Rebellion Roller Derby, we have 1-0 Steph Sentence, 1-3 Boris, 2-0 Wreckham Ralph, 2-2 is Not the Brave, 2-7-1 Pandemonium, 3-3 JT, 5 is Airy Fairy, 5-2 Eraser, 6-2-6 Tiny Terrier, 6-5 Thundercaz, 7 Sirius Block, 7-4 Mythic Owl, 8-8-8 is Kiki, and 9-1 is Pip.
And playing in green, Cambridge Roller Billies have 1-5 Fiesta, 1-9 Tsunami, apologies, 1-9-5-3 Primal Queer, 1-9-6-2 Jam Stoker, 3-6 Frenchie for a whole lot of trouble, 5-0 The Law, 5-3 Nat Out of Hell, 6-9 FEB, 7 Smash Hit, 7-4 Molotov Cocktail, 8-0-0 Baby Jesus, 8-2, 3-8 Headers, 9 Fowler, and 9-5 Grease Lightning.
Okay, so of course Cambridge played Bristol yesterday in the second game of the day on track 2, and Bristol took a fairly convincing win in that game. So, and this is Cambridge's first season in Tier 2. Ooh. They were in Tier 3 last year, came to playoffs and came second in the final to Kent, got promoted to Tier 2, and have absolutely smashed it in Tier 2 this year, making its playoffs in their first season in Tier 2. So absolutely well done to Cambridge. It'd be really interesting to see, with these two teams having faced each other so recently, whether there's any influence in that, whether anything will play out differently, whether they've changed anything up, knowing that they're playing each other. Neither of the teams have had a game already today, so they've had a nice little chance to have a rest since yesterday.
Fresh legs, fresh wheels.
Hope so, yeah. So hopefully we'll get a really good game today. So everyone's having a little huddle. We can see over the balcony where we are sitting. We've got Cambridge having a little huddle on their bench. We've got the officials having a little huddle around the penalty box. And we are just waiting for everybody to get started.
Are indeed also having a little huddle.
Except for Sirius Block, who's gone for a little tootle around the track. The prediction for this, according to Flat Track Stats, it gives Rebellion an 83% chance of winning this game, which is probably what you'd expect, given that, let's say, there was a 70-point difference last time they played each other, which was 3 months ago.
Oh, significant. We have already had an upset of Flat Track Stats today, though.
Have we?
Yes, the first game was supposed to go to Devon.
Yes, that's correct, yeah. And I suspect the Big Bucks Battersea game that's just happened might have been an upset on paper as well.
Potentially, I'm not entirely sure about that, but certainly Manchester were expected to lose to Devon and they ended up winning.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So we've had some really exciting games this weekend, well worth watching back. On track 2 at the moment, we've got the Junior Roller Derby goal place game happening. So that's Borderland Beasts and Demon Bra. Borderland Beasts currently with a 140-point lead in that game with just 10 minutes left on the clock. They're in a very long official timeout because the scoreboard fell over. Not physically fell over, but just stopped working for a bit.
Yeah. It looks like they have started up again, and we are also on the verge of starting. You can see everybody's lined up on the track. And our first jammers are going to be Pip and Jam Stoker.
Both fantastic jammers for these teams. Pip played for England Roller Derby at the World Cup this year. Jam Stoker is an absolutely phenomenal jammer for Cambridge. I've seen her jam quite a lot of times. Very small but very strong, able to get through tiny little gaps, and just keeps the pack moving.
Wonderful. Jam timer still out of position, so we're not really quite that close to starting yet, but we'll see how that goes.
I realised we've done the same thing that I did yesterday and we haven't introduced ourselves. I'm Painbow.
I'm Jugger, hello.
And our producer for this game is Alexis on Fire. He's going to be passing us lots of notes and making us sound clever.
Indeed. Well, all the referees in position now.
So we've got officials, we've got ref, we've got officials in the penalty box. We've got an excellent collection of dungarees in the penalty box today, I should point out.
Oh, they are wonderful.
It's always lovely to come back and spend a weekend indoors in Stoke, isn't it?
Here we are. Pretty Miff blowing the whistle and giving us our first 5 seconds.
And we are off.
Are indeed. Pip pushing up on that outside, getting to the front of the pack and straight out very quickly. Less than 10 seconds to break through the pack while Rebellion hold back. Cambridge's Jammer.
So saw a little bit from Cambridge yesterday of not quite always getting back together in those 3 walls. And in early doors it looks like in that jam as well as Pip was coming round, they just didn't quite reform that 3 wall fast enough to stop Pip.
Yeah, only 4 points on the board. Cambridge managing to push out, and of course it gets called to deny them the opportunity of scoring any points. Now going to Airy Ferry against Frenchie.
Frenchie, a very, very strong jammer for Cambridge, very pushy. Rebellion walls and Rebellion blockers very strong as well though, so we'll see how this plays out.
We will indeed. Right now it looks like Rebellion stuck at the back. Cambridge pushing at the front, Frenchie grabbing the lead.
Beautiful toe stop work on the inside line from Frenchie.
Yeah, good job pushing the pack forward like that. Coming around on the scoring pass, but you can see Rebellion at the front. They try to draw the cut, but Rebellion back on the track sufficiently quickly to avoid all of that. Airy Ferry now coming around after the initial, and of course that causes Cambridge to call off the jam.
So 4 points up in the first jam for Rebellion, and now 4 points for Cambridge, so evenly matched in these first 2 jams. Very tentative start.
Indeed, as we go into jam 3. Pandemonium against Nat Out of Hell.
So pack starting at the front and then rolling back. Rebellion putting 1 blocker on offense up at the front there, that's Boris.
And the pack gets drawn to the front by Cambridge. And that, of course, causes a surge, allowing the Cambridge Jammer to push all the way to the front, to the end of the engagement zone and pick up lead. So Nat Out of Hell is your lead jammer for Jam 3.
So Rebellion losing that last line of defence blocker, that was Sirius block, to the penalty box on a forearm.
And Smash Hits also picks up a forearm. So Jam 3, each team picks up their first penalty, and they're both forearms penalties. Oh. And Primal Queer also going to the box for Cambridge. With multiplayer. We're seeing Pip up against Jam Stoker again, but this time with an 8-wheel advantage in terms of blockers on the track. A 2-wall against a 3-wall.
So both teams starting out either with a 3 jammer rotation, or both teams choosing to put out who they think is their best jammer for this micro pack jam. We shall see.
Indeed. We're a lot of powering through the centre. You'd love to see it. Pip is lead, but Rebellion are choosing to run it.
Yeah, I suspect they're trying to empty the penalty box.
And there we are. The penalty box is cleared for Rebellion.
It was.
And there's been a star pass for Cambridge.
Is that headers with the star pass?
That is Jam Stoker to headers. Oh, lovely little apex jump on the inside there, letting Pip go around for some more points.
Headers took quite a few star passes for Cambridge yesterday. I didn't actually need to be looking at the track to be able to say if Cambridge have done a star pass, it's probably gone to headers.
Ooh, interesting. Oh, that might be a cupped track on Pip. Pip going to the box. That's our first power jam of the game, going to Cambridge after the star pass.
Sad times when you're a pivot and the jammer gets a penalty, and now you've got to do the rest of that 2 minutes as the jammer, especially up against blockers this strong. Look how strong those blockers
drifting
are.
backwards along the pack. Cambridge, of course, trying to keep the pack so that if the jammer can push the ball forward, they can just push them out of play. But unfortunately, the Rebellion wall was moving back, so they had to come in, do some offense. But Pip back on track now. Those whistles you heard were for the other track, not this one. Obviously, we still have several seconds to go before the jam is ended for time. Both jammers now stuck behind their respective walls.
I think that Headers has actually decided for a minute there that her time would be better spent as a blocker, despite wearing the star. Like, maybe I'll just drop back and help you stop Pip.
I also would, if I had the choice, not face a Rebellion wall right now.
Well, and also you need like at least 5 blockers to stop Pip.
True. Would be quite difficult for Cambridge right now. They've lost a blocker to the box just as the last jam went down.
So 20 points, play 16. So still very tight as we go into jam 4.
Indeed.
Jam 5, my apologies.
Yes. Rebellion and making good use.
But Airy Fairy has been called on a cut track penalty.
And the jam has been called or not? The jam has indeed been called. Obviously, 2 tracks in one hall causes moments of confusion sometimes.
Yeah, so we're going to have a short official timeout now while we just clarify what happened there. We are quite close to track 2. The referees are using different whistles with different tones to them, but it is also 20-2 on the second day of the tournament, and I think all our brains are a bit frazzled. Yes. So much so that I had absolutely, literally no idea what time it is, and I had to check my watch because, I don't know, it could be 11 o'clock in the morning, it could be 4 o'clock, I just don't know anymore.
Well, as usual, for a roller derby event, we don't see the sun. No,
we're just indoors. Having a lovely time. I've just watched the Big Box Battersea game, and if you didn't see it, I strongly suggest you watch that back on as soon as the footage is available on YouTube, because that was a great game.
That was a lovely game. Very low scoring, lovely
very, very blocker heavy, very defensive. I don't think either team made it to 200 points.
No, they barely made it out of the hundreds.
Yeah, really, really low scoring game.
I believe it was 98 to 120 or so. But anyway, back to the current action. We see Cambridge dancing up that inside line, but caught just right at the end there by Rebellion. Wonderful last line of defense.
Yeah, absolutely out of nowhere. Frenchie, I think, probably thought that she'd got through and made it, and then Boris peered and went, no.
And again, just as Frenchie dances past what was the last blocker, a Rebellion blocker appears and simply denies the advance. So now Rebellion Airy Fairy back on the track.
Cambridge with the awareness this time, getting the wall set up at the front of the pack.
Yeah, but their own jammer now stuck at the back, and Rebellion has managed to push through, and from power start for Cambridge, now Airy Fairy is your lead jammer after all.
Yep, so Airy Fairy picking up that penalty in the previous jam, eligible for lead in this jam.
Indeed, complete power kill by Rebellion.
Nice little hit out there by Smash Hits.
And there we have now a cut track called on Frenchie. Our jam is still going, I do believe, although all the skaters are standing.
Yeah, so Frenchie's going to the box on a cut now, I think. So
both jammers on the way to the box with cuts.
Yeah, I think Frenchie maybe thought the jam had ended again because of whistles from the previous track. So although it had kind of been knocked off and the momentum carried it back on again, didn't yield because thought the jam was over.
Yeah, well, as a result of that, there's no wall on the track right now. Both jammers coming in.
Just chaos.
Just chaos. Sometimes it happens. Less than 10 seconds now left in the jam.
So Frenchie looking for either the initial or the star pass.
But that jam will end with a power start to Cambridge at the beginning, ending in a no initial.
We've got one blocker from Cambridge sat in the penalty box. That looks like Fowler. Although you may notice that Fowler's wearing a shirt that says Dangerous on the back, in case that confuses anybody. Ooh. That's her old derby name.
Yes. And we have started up again. Thunder Kaz against Nat Out of Hell. I don't think we've seen Thunder Kaz yet.
No, had a few jams against Wiltshire yesterday.
And as you can see there, we're not entirely sure why Fowler is in the box. We do know that a whole lot of trouble is in the box for a forearms penalty.
Cambridge are going to have to keep the penalty count down. They're already sitting on 6 penalties total.
Rebellion not far behind on 5 penalties total now, it has to be said, but certainly making a better use of the gaps that have opened up so far. Of course, it doesn't help that it's a double penalty for Cambridge, so looks like 16-wheel advantage for Rebellion roller derby right now.
Have had a star pass again go into headers.
Indeed. And header is now out of the initial while Thunder Kaz goes around. Already completed 2 scoring passes, trying for a third before they get caught.
So that was a scoring pass for headers as well. So Cambridge on 4 points in this jam coming round. So under if Rebellion decided, let's see if we've got a pivot, we can run the jam long.
Rebellion maybe trying to tire Cambridge out a little bit. But after running it long, they lose a blocker to the box. That is Wreckham Ralph for an illegal position.
Both of these teams had really tough games yesterday as well, in sort of in different ways. Bristol play a very, very fast game, which is quite different from the style of play that Cambridge normally play, which is quite slow and grindy and hard-hitting. So that was really hard for them to get used to, I think, and quite hard for their jammers. And obviously, you know, we know what happened in the Rebellion Wiltshire game. That was a really tough game from start to finish for them.
That is the end of this jam. And Cambridge will start with a 1-blocker advantage, only a short one. You obviously won't be able to see it from where you're watching. Wreckham Ralph standing in the penalty box.
So let's see what Cambridge can do with that then. Both teams, again, we've got Pip against Jam Stoker, so gives Cambridge the opportunity to give Jam Stoker a little bit of offence, which is a luxury that Rebellion won't have with only 3 blockers on the track.
Pip, of course, doesn't need the offense, just pushing that wall all the way forward, all the way out of play again. And already around on a scoring pass, real working pace there. And just bouncing off around the outside. And picks up that scoring pass, making it look easy.
Fowler picking up what could have been either a directional or a back block, depending on which way you look. That was a direction of gameplay penalty. Yes. Yeah.
Pip decides to call it now after Jam Stoker finally made it out of the pack. 8 points to nothing. That gap is beginning to grow.
Yeah, as you said, on paper we were expecting a Rebellion win from this game. Hopefully both teams are just going to have fun. It's nice when you play a team that you know well, and you can just enjoy it. But hopefully we'll see some nice chats on the jam line.
Cambridge now fielding Grease Lightning, a new jammer. Played for Team Greece at the World Cup.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, we've got quite a lot of international skaters here this weekend between all our teams.
Yes. Grease Lightning currently stuck at the back, trying to push through that Rebellion wall. Rebellion not giving up any ground. Meanwhile, Cambridge's own wall had to be bridged out to the front. Quick recycle though sees Airy Fair coming back in at the rear of the engagement zone, and that is lead for Grease Lightning.
Lovely. That'll feel really good for Cambridge to get a lead at this point in the game. So we have got a Rebellion skater popping off to the penalty box, and it's a Razor on a direction of gameplay penalty.
Yep. And Cambridge calling off the jam there.
Did Rebellion? Yeah, Rebellion managed to sneak a point in that jam though. So the call-off didn't come quite quick enough, or the Cambridge blockers should have been a little bit quicker about protecting their points and getting to the front.
Yes, and that brings us to nice round numbers for both teams. 48 plays 28.
Oh, easy differential maths.
Yeah, 20 points.
20 points. Don't even need a calculator.
So now Frenchie against Pandemonium. Pandemonium. Have we seen Pandemonium before today?
Yes, we have, I think.
Oh, wonderful.
It's also the second Pandemonium of the day on this track because London Roller Derby Battersea also have a skater called Pandemonium.
Oh, I see. Wonderful. In the meantime, Frenchie has picked up that lead jammer status and is coming around on the scoring pass. Pandemonium still stuck behind that Cambridge wall, which is reforming a lot quicker now. And, dropping the helmet cover, but to the inside where Cambridge can't quite sit over it, which is a very unfortunate event if that happens. Pandemonium now passing the start to JT. Frenchie calling off the jam as JT comes around. No points for Rebellion.
The grin on JT's face, like, oh, I wanted to have a jam. JT with very fresh legs because JT didn't play in the game yesterday.
Ooh, good.
That was at a wedding, I believe I've been informed.
Oh.
So he wasn't here yesterday, wasn't able to be here. He's, I'm sure, going to make up for it today.
Hopefully. Cambridge picking up only 3 points in that last jam. Rebellion managing to protect one of their points. So that makes the differential math a little bit trickier now, but we'll see how it goes. Pip against Jam Stoker.
So the skaters hitting the floor there on that outside line, but Pip.
Oh, Pip just dancing up that inside.
Beautiful footwork from Pip.
Oh. Somebody has a forearms.
So I think one of the other things we saw yesterday in the Rebellion Wiltshire game, certainly in the first half, was jammers being quite slow to take the star off when lead was closed.
Well, in this particular case, it wouldn't help Jam Stoker because it's Headers who has the forearms. There's no pivot for Cambridge on the track.
Well, yes, okay, that does make the star pass somewhat trickier. But, you know, it should be a reflex reaction when lead's closed. Have it in your hand. One of my favourite types of star pass is the star pass where the pivot comes out of the penalty box and just gets the star on the way round and runs past.
Yes, Jam Stoker managing to do without, just sort of spots a gap, comes out. And Rebellion now with 2 blockers in the box, their own pivot and Mythic Owl?
Yep.
Mythic Owl.
Penalties still quite evenly matched in this game. We've got Rebellion on 9 overall and Cambridge on 8. No one looks in any penalty trouble, but I would hope they wouldn't be when we've only played 16 minutes of the game.
Yeah, serious block now off to the box as well. Rebellion having a little bit of more penalty trouble now, and now in the lead in terms of total penalties across the team.
So Pip trying the dip round the outside there and has picked up a low block penalty, I think.
Yes, so Pip now in the box with serious block.
Yeah.
And the jam will end before Pip can leave. So it will be another power start for Cambridge. Let's see if it goes better for them this time.
Great clock awareness and points protection from Rebellion right at the end of that jam to just stay away, knowing that the jammer didn't have time to get all the way around and get past their hips, so just stayed at the front, stayed out of the way, knew that the jam was going to run out. Really, really smart play there.
Wonderful awareness. And of course Pip, despite going to the box just right near the end there, still managed to put up 16 points.
Probably deserves a little rest then, a little sit down.
Yeah, after all that work. Why not take a seat? We're in a short official timeout, it looks like. Referees already going back to their positions. Yes, there we are. That is the timeout ending whistle.
So Cambridge keeping the differential closer than we were expecting it to be. As say the flat track stats predictor was kind of roughly 5-3 in favour of Rebellion.
Whereas this isn't even quite 2-1. This is about
it's about 6 to 4.
6 to 4.
3.
Yeah, Cambridge, of course, not out of hell, trying to make good use of this power start. But Cambridge setting up a tripod at the back because here comes Pip. And Pip is hard to stop, even without offense from number 1-3.
A little kind of get out of my way to the Pip's own blockers there.
Well, yes.
Bursting through the arms.
So again, a power start for Cambridge ends with a Rebellion lead. Pip putting in the work on the scoring pass. But a star pass there from Matt out of hell to Baby Jesus.
Oh,
not headers this time.
Not headers this time, but Baby Jesus, did take several star passes yesterday as well. Both teams got a lot quicker in the second half at passing the star.
Pip, of course, easily around on the outside. Nobody quite ready for Pip. Picking up another 4 points. Baby Jesus still at the front, still with the star in hand, not on the head.
Yeah, getting some offence from Fowler, but Fowler's now dropped back to join the wall and try and block Pip. Again, just a little bit, the Cambridge block is just a little bit chaotic and it's just not looking settled and solid in their tripods.
Even there, when Fowler dropped back, I think that may have destroyed the... No, Primal Queer has picked up a penalty.
And Cambridge will be taking a team time out. Quite disappointed not to see the bench outfit that I was promised from Cambridge. They're when we said what, well, I wasn't promised anything specific, but when we said what's been your biggest focus in preparing for playoffs, they said finding a bench outfit that can rival last year's lime green power suit. And I don't see anyone wearing anything even vaguely approaching a lime green power suit or anything more ostentatious than that. I did see Law wearing the lime green power suit earlier. It's very fetching. It's a very fetching shade of green.
Wow. I don't see it, but I do see that the dungaree crew does extend to the Cambridge box. At least one person in dungarees there.
As somebody who's currently wearing dungarees, it's clearly an accidental theme for the day. Dinosaur dungarees.
Dinosaur dungarees, indeed. That is the end of the team timeout. Referees still in the middle discussing, but they are heading back to their positions.
Cambridge also told us that they have a combined age of 657. I haven't worked out what that means the average age of a skater is yet, but if anybody's interested, let us know on the public Discord and I'll... or if anybody wants to work it out, just let us know. Do some maths for me.
Thank you.
So,
anyway, back to the action. Airy Fairy and Frenchie both being held back by the opposing wall. Frenchie just at the front right now.
Airy Fairy has picked up a penalty and is on the way to the box. That is a forearms there being...
So there we have a lead for Frenchie.
Cambridge blockers holding one skater at the back so that they can keep the pack, getting some offence. I think that was FEB with the offence. Little smile on Frenchie's face there. That was lovely. It was a nice easy pass.
On the outside, just using the back of the Rebellion skater to keep herself in as well.
So more of that, please.
More of that. We're here for it. Some lovely offense there from the pivot headers. Knocking down some of the Rebellion blockers, making it harder for them to form that wall. Frenchie trying to come up around the outside, but not quite getting there this time. Tries the same on the inside. Denied again.
And again, just a little bit of, I don't know whether it was awareness or whether it was a choice, but with only 3 blockers on track and the Rebellion jammer coming back, leaving one person on offence and leaving a 2-wall at the back was...
risky play, I suppose.
Risky play, yeah.
That brings us to the end of the jam. Called off before Rebellion could score any points. Cambridge picking up 7, bringing that differential down to 30 points.
We do have one blocker in the box for Cambridge. That's Tsunami sitting with a multiplayer block.
Standing with the multiplayer, so
with the multiplayer block.
It'll only be a short 8-wheel advantage for Rebellion.
Lots of forearm penalties. I can see 4 for Rebellion.
4
for Cambridge.
Yeah. 4 each.
Fairly evenly distributed over all the penalties so far.
Indeed. But here we have Grease Lightning against Thundercast. Thundercast getting recycled and Grease Lightning surging through the front. Oh, just caught at the top and recycled all the way to the back of the engagement zone. Very empathic call there to form a tripod at the back so that it's not quite so easy for Grease Lightning to go back forward. Not quite taken up by Rebellion there. So Grease Lightning did manage to surge back into the middle of the pack, but was then caught by a 2-wall. And now Rebellion and Cambridge Walls right on top of each other, exploited by Thundercast, who takes the lead.
I was waiting for that to happen. I could see the Cambridge blockers all in 3 and 4, and the Rebellion blockers kind of line up in 2, and I thought, any minute now.
Yeah, the jammer will just take that inside. That's protected by their wall.
Yeah, that little flip-flop.
Cambridge have caught the jammer again on the scoring pass. 2-wall at the back for Cambridge, while 2 play offense, trying to get the Grease Lightning out, because that is, of course, a very efficient way of denying points, forcing the opponent to call it off by getting your jammer out. But as we come down to the last 30 seconds of the jam, no movement anywhere. We're still in turn 2. Turn was 1 and 2.
That 2-wall at the back is Smash Hits and Tsunami, and they're doing an absolutely incredible job holding Thundercast.
Yeah, the only reason they had to move forward is because they were out of play.
Yep.
And they come out of play again as the pack goes forward, still holding that jammer. Just the 2 of them. Now a tripod, of course, joined by Baby Jesus. And as the Cambridge jammer finally makes the initial, the jam ends. 2 Rebellion blockers gone to the box now.
Yeah, that's JT with a forearms penalty and Boris with a low block. I haven't seen a lot of low blocks this weekend, I feel. There's been 2 in this game so far. JT's penalty has been changed to a misconduct penalty.
Interesting. Jam Stoker against Pip as we go into this jam. Cambridge enjoying a 16-wheel advantage, but alas, Pip just unstoppable on the outside.
Pip's a 16-wheel advantage all on her own, really.
Oh, well, in that case, no one has an advantage, but Pip is still through. And, oh, there we are. We see a lovely little dip, just practically below Heather's knees in order to get around and out on that scoring pass. Being chased now by Jam Stoker. And Rebellion, again, opting for a run and an apex jump.
That
wonderful.
Was phenomenal. They sent JT went in first as almost like distraction offense. I think Cambridge was so worried about what was going to happen if Pip followed JT through the wall that Pip just hopped the apex instead. Yeah. It was brilliant.
It was wonderful. Box is now cleared. Rebellion decide to call it off now that they no longer have the blocker disadvantage. And Pip, again, putting up 12 points.
And we are already only 5 minutes away from the end of this half.
Yeah, only 15 jams played. Airy Fairy now against Nat Out of Hell. Yeah, Cambridge with a lot of work to do now that the gap is 41 points. That is 11 scoring passes.
Well done. Good maths.
In order to get ahead. But we're going into an official timeout. The referee's discussing something.
So we are looking slightly closer to that predicted score ratio at the moment. The next game on this track today will be Devon versus Battersea. That was scheduled to be, I want to say 4 o'clock. I wrote it all down. I put it all in a folder. Let me have a look. 3:30 be the Tier 3 bronze medal game on this track. And at 4 o'clock we've got the Tier 3 gold medal game. So starting... we will be running a bit late on track 2, so it looks like the junior gold medal game has only just finished. And then that will be the Tier 2 gold medal game, which will be Wiltshire and Bristol, who are the 2 teams who beat these 2 teams yesterday. I think that'll be a really exciting matchup. Bristol played just an incredibly fast-paced game yesterday. Almost like French style of roller derby. Yeah, really, really quick, nippy roller derby.
Keeping rolling, keeping everybody's heart rate high.
It'll be another 2 teams that have already faced each other this year, so hopefully, regardless of the outcome, they will have a lot of fun and a lovely time.
We can but hope. Anyway, now Nat out of hell against Airy Fairy. Airy Fairy grabbing lead.
Steph Sentence doing a little roly-poly in the middle of the track there.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you have to. Cambridge forming a 2-wall with the brakes behind them, turning it into a tripod and catching Airy Fairy just in the turn. Meanwhile, Nat out of hell, star in hand, but the pivot is at the back, trying to hold back Rebellion Jammer. Rebellion now coming around. So maybe we will see a star pass, maybe definitely we will see some offense, and it has been effective, but Rebellion managing to reform a wall at the front. Catching Nat out of hell again.
Airy Fairy picking up a couple of points at the end of that jam and then decided, you know, I really didn't enjoy the first time I had to try and get through that wall for 4 points. I would quite like to not do this again, actually, thank you. I'm just going to call off the jam.
Yes.
And with a lead now building up a little bit for Rebellion, they don't need to be running every jam as long as they can afford to do a scoring pass. We'll score a pass and a half and call it. If it's going to be wasting their jammers or using a lot of their jammers' energy per 4 points, perhaps we just,
Yeah, especially as Rebellion are skating with one less person.
I hadn't clocked that, yes. Looks like
they might like the breaks a bit more. They might enjoy the longer jams. Those do seem to be working quite well for them. But this one is going to be short because, of course, Pandemonium really lead jammer, but Frenchie out of the initial. So it gets called, and we'll see.
And again, Pandemonium being really safe then, and I mean, Frenchie was still almost half a lap away from the pack when Pandemonium called the jam. And again, actually, they don't need to be pushing it down to the wire to try and get the 4 points. Get 3 and call it off before Cambridge get any. It's better than taking a risk and trying to get that last point.
Would have quite liked 4 because it would take them to the century mark.
Yeah.
Alas, held just short. Cambridge protecting that one last point.
Maybe they had a flake for the 99, who knows?
Or maybe Pip asked that they be allowed to get it. But actually, no, Jam Stoker manages to get lead.
Very nice. Very nice. Quite an achievement getting lead over Pip there.
Yeah. Pip, that's the first time Jam Stoker has gotten lead over Pip this game.
So looking for the offense now. Lovely coordinated offense, but
again, Rebellion managing to come in just at the end and denying Cambridge.
So yeah, and only 3 picked up by Jam Stoker in that jam as well. So
yeah, and Pip does pick up the century point, as it were.
Just getting the 1 point, but getting the one that counts.
Getting the one that counts, getting them to that 100. Grease Lightning now up against Airy Fairy.
So 2 minutes left in this half. This may or may not be the last jam in this half. We shall see.
We shall see indeed.
Quick switch of sides off the line for Grease Lightning, lining up in kind of lane 2 and then immediately swap into 4.
Yep. Meanwhile, Airy Fairy's just got rolled back on by the wall and is pushing the wall forward, but not before Grease Lightning can pick up that lead.
Yeah, the little nod from the outside pack referee indicating that the toe stops were in bounds and lead is awarded.
Cambridge again forming that 2-wall, trying to hold the jammer, but moving forward a little too much and getting pushed out of play. And we're going to have another jam this half.
Oh, every time I'm proved wrong. So how many points? So 3 points again picked up in that pass by Cambridge. So just nickeling and diming it, just chipping away at that lead.
Chipping away, shrinking that differential ever so slightly every time. So Nat out of hell up against Thundercaz.
And I'm loath to say it because I'll probably jinx it, but the penalty box is empty. So we have a full 80 wheels on track.
We do. And I believe that's a lead rewarded very quickly to Nat out of hell. So Cambridge, a little bit of a comeback at the end of this period.
Is that like 3 jams in a row for Cambridge they've had lead?
I believe so. Rebellion managing to catch Nat out of hell at the back of the pack, now forcing a little bit of a recycle, and Nat has to call it.
So yeah, confirmation from our producer that it's 3 jams in a row that Cambridge have had lead.
Only 2 points.
But if they've held Rebellion scoreless and they've had lead going into half-time, in terms of the mental game.
Yeah, and the important thing is to shrink that differential.
Yeah. So the fact that they've chipped away at it a little bit, the fact that they've had lead in a few jams in a row, that'll be a nice place to go in to try and...
Yeah, that'll be a good one for the beginning of the next half as we go into halftime. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, well, this looks like still being quite an interesting game. I hope you are all enjoying it at home. Don't forget, we've got public Discord server, so you can jump on that and tell us what you think and give us your shout-outs. And we'll be back in about 14 minutes.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to this Rebellion versus Cambridge Rollerbillies, our Tier 2 bronze medal playoff game. So none of these teams, unfortunately, will be going up into Tier 1 next year, but that's okay.
Oh yes, you're quite right. This is just a placement for...
This is just for medals and shenanigans.
Medals, shenanigans, glory.
So bronze medals for the teams that win this. So we've got a couple of stats just before we get started. I've only got Rebellion Jammer stats at the moment, but Pip has scored 69 points in this, which 69% of Rebellion's total score. Average of 9.85 points per jam, and has had lead about 85-86% of the time that they've been on track.
Pip is also the last scoring jammer for Rebellion before Cambridge started just chipping away at that lead. They scored the point that brought Rebellion to 100, and Rebellion haven't scored any points since. So now we've got, I believe that's Frenchie lining up against Pip at the beginning of the second period.
It is. That's interesting. That's a different jammer matchup than we had, because we had Pip at the beginning of the first half match with Jam Stoker. Yeah. Whereas I think Frenchie and Pip have a much more similar style of jamming. Both quite good with the footwork, but also quite punchy.
All right, and we're off. Wall starting up at the pivot line, not the jammer line. And I think the Cambridge wall regretting that a little bit, giving Pip that kind of a run up. Pip powering through the wall. Frenchie, unfortunately, caught by Rebellion.
I don't think I'd want to give either of those jammers a run up, if I'm honest.
No.
But there you go.
But yeah, Frenchie, quick start, pass to Baby Jesus. Oh. And unfortunately, Pip there with the penalty. A cut track called on the lead jammer. We're going for 2 minutes. Low block.
Another one. Another one. Cambridge just sort of drifting there, not doing any offense, but also not holding the
French
pack.
Now getting the opposite of a low block, getting a Baby Jesus getting a high block. Apologies, there was a star pass. So we have a jammer swap for penalties on the opposing ends of opponents, I suppose. One with a low block, one with a high block.
A little crush offense there from Rebellion, just trying to sort of form up around the Cambridge 3-wall.
Cambridge did recover, but not afterwards when Pip popped back in on the track. Baby Jesus, of course, back on the track now as well. Doesn't have to sit the full 30 seconds because Pip didn't have to either. Rebellion lose a blocker to the box, and Pip just knocking over.
It's like Skittles out there, just people flying all over the place.
Yes, unfortunately that knocking over of 2 of the Cambridge blockers, not entirely legal, so Pip back to the box.
Yeah, forearms penalty there for Pip. Common jammer penalty, isn't it? Cut tracks and forearms on jammers a lot of the time.
Yeah, and Baby Jesus trying to get through in those last few seconds. A jam ends. 4 points for Cambridge. 4 points for Rebellion. That differential doesn't shrink. And this is a power start for Cambridge. Now, so far, Cambridge have not had very much luck with the power start. We'll see if it's third time lucky. Yeah,
they should have figured this out by now. So that is, Pip is the only skater we've got in the penalty box. We are going, or it looks like we were going for a pivot line start.
Yeah, again, no, Rebellion drifting back. An official timeout briefly called. Jammer asked to correct their number. Sorry, make it easier for the refs to see their number.
Yeah, it just got spinned round a little bit there, didn't it?
And there we are, the 5 seconds. So we're back to the Pip versus Jam Stoker matchup.
Yes, we are. I hadn't spotted that Pip being in the penalty box at the moment. So Jam Stoker getting a little shirt whip. Oh, wow.
Oh, called lead, even though the fell over, their feet didn't go out. So now Jam Stoker is your lead jammer.
Headers politely asking JT if they might like a little sit down on the inside of the
Pip,
track.
though, just hopping over that apex, hopping over the Rebellion wall as well, and just coming around and wiping out just right at the end of that jam. Lovely little spin.
Oh, everyone looks so cool when they do that hockey stop at speed, and it's really nice to see. Like, I don't mean that in a mean way, but, you know, because I never look cool when I do things like that. Every now and again someone wipes out.
I can't even do things like that, so... Even impressed with the people who try. Grease Lightning now up against Airy Fairy. And we're off. Cambridge again at the back of the pack, and they've managed to catch Airy Fairy, but Airy Fairy just pushing very hard through those blockers, but there's a gap on the inside, and Grease Lightning slips through.
Yeah, it was a lovely bit of sort of offensive defence on the inside line from the Cambridge wall that were kind of blocking the Rebellion jammer, but also holding the inside lane open for Grease Lightning.
And again, we see that jam called, not with the full complement of points. 2 points is going to be for Cambridge, but again, the important thing is to chip away at that differential, bring it down to manageable numbers. Right now,
I mean, we're getting into the realms of now with the differential being that kind of one big power jam or one big scoring jam.
And Cambridge will be back in, and obviously
we'll be back very close together.
Yeah, we're going into an official timeout, so I believe that is 39 points in it.
Yes, I concur.
Yes, so that will be quite challenging for one jam, but one good power jam will shrink that differential right down to very manageable territory indeed.
So just looking at the stats from the first half, Rebellion with a couple of kind of big 16, 12 and 16 point jams, unsurprisingly all of which were Pip. Cambridge with a more kind of slow chipping away approach, but the lead percentage overall, Rebellion had 55% of lead jammer statuses, Cambridge with 45%.
There has been a late head block assessed to Grease Lightning. So now Rebellion with the power start.
So I had a whole conversation yesterday about how I don't think I ever see a head block called, and that's 2 this weekend now.
Well, you know what they say about announcers and curses.
Yeah, I've manifested it, made it happen.
Yeah. Big, powerful whip there by JT gives Thundercaz a lead.
JT is a great skater, dual chartered with Southern Discomfort MRDA team as well.
Yeah, so you can see there the Rebellion wall rolling back on the Cambridge pivot, just sort of forcing pack to go where they want it, keeping the Cambridge wall apart so they can't stop Thundercaz.
Really nice coordinated offence from Rebellion today. We didn't see as much of that certainly in the first half against Wiltshire yesterday. It got a little bit more coordinated. Their offence in the first half was a little bit chaotic, but they're doing a great job today with the offence.
Yeah. That block there on Thundercaz not quite legal, so we see a whole lot of trouble go to the box for that.
Lots of penalty trouble here for Cambridge. We've got Tsunami on a forearms, whole lot of trouble on a direction of gameplay penalty, and then FEB go into the box for a misconduct penalty. Yeah,
whereas Rebellion did have Kiki in the box on an unknown penalty indeed, but now everybody back on the track for Rebellion. 2 in the box for Cambridge as we go into just the 5th jam of this game, of this half.
Looks like one of our referees, Big Whip, is in the penalty box, possibly explaining what that misconduct penalty was for to FEB, but we have got smiles all over the place. Everybody looks very happy and doesn't look like a I am seriously displeased with you. It just looks like a friendly explanation.
There we are, Pip against Nat Out of Hell. Nat Out of Hell, of course, facing down the prospect of an entire Rebellion wall and only 2 friendly blockers.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Not ideal, especially not against Pip. Pip, of course, grabbing that lead. But Rebellion not really forming a wall just yet. Focusing on that offense, dragging the pack to the front. But there we see.
That was a forearms penalty there going to Nat out of hell for Cambridge. So this will be a power jam in favour of Rebellion.
Yes, and that will allow Rebellion now to really expand that differential again.
Yeah, great shirt whip from Pip there on the outside line to stay in bounds.
Yeah. Offense coming in before the jammer hits.
Yeah, I was just thinking that it's interesting to watch with different jammers whether they want the pack move in before they hit it or the full sweep of the line.
Yeah, Pip calls that off. And the referee just having a conversation with the Rebellion pivot.
That's Steph's sentence. No penalty being assessed back to the bench, so we are...
Looks like just a simple explanation.
So power start for Rebellion.
For Airy Fairy. And indeed lead for Airy Fairy as we go.
So whistle there for a penalty being assessed to smash hits from Cambridge.
Yeah, indeed. Nat out of hell now, back on the track, scoring. Airy Fairy knocked out at the rear of the engagement zone before they can pick up more than a single point. But now through for the full scoring pass.
That was a little fake out star pass there, which confused the Rebellion blockers enough that JT, I think, wasn't sure whether headers had it or not.
Yeah, everybody stretched out. And that is the jam called.
Yeah, we got a skater just taking a minute to get back up. So we're just going to pause for a sec. We have an official timeout while we check what's going on. So we'll look at these penalties. So again, still really evenly matched. Rebellion on 18 penalties total between them. Cambridge on 17. Pretty much the story of what we've seen through this whole game.
Yeah.
I think who's got the most penalties has changed a couple of times, but I don't think it's ever been more than one or two apart. In terms of penalty trouble, we've got Pip and Airy Fairy for Rebellion on sort of more than... So Pip is on 4 penalties now. That's a cut, 2 low blocks and a forearms. And Airy Fairy's got 2 cuts and a forearm. So not what you want to see for your jammers being the ones that have got kind of 3 or 4 penalties. But nobody's in any terrible trouble. The only other person with more than 2 on Rebellion is Sirius Block, number 7, who is also on 3 penalties. Cambridge have their penalties a little bit more spread out among the skaters, so they've only got 1 person on 3, and that is Smash Hits, who's currently sitting in the penalty box. It was only just picked up that last penalty. And
it looks like a lot of forearms across both teams.
Yeah, a lot of forearms. I've seen quite a lot of forearms being called this weekend. It's obviously something that the referee crews are being quite hot on. Other than that, a nice little spread of directions, illegal positions, a couple of misconduct penalties. Yes, nothing too concerning there, I don't think.
No, but Pip out against Frenchie. As we come out of that official timeout, it seems that everybody's okay. 5 seconds called. And we're off. Cambridge again at the back, but not where Pip is. Pip is now at the front. And Pip is your lead jammer. Quick exit by Frenchie though. Half a track behind. Rebellion runs it for a little bit, then decides, no, we are at pack, going to call it. Call up takes a little bit of time, so there is some contact there, but just before the whistle.
Yeah, there's just a tiny little hit. I think sometimes if a hit happens immediately as the whistle goes, so this happened in the previous game, there was a penalty given for a late hit that was then official reviewed and I believe rescinded.
It was indeed.
Because the skaters all had established trajectory, and even though you know the whistle's gone, if you've already committed to that hit, sometimes it's hard and it's safer not to try and stop yourself.
Yeah. So here we have lead for Jam Stoker.
So Rebellion have had a higher percentage of lead jammer statuses in this half, currently 66% to 33%, which is slightly different from the first half.
Yes, Thundercaz, of course, chasing, so forcing that call off by Cambridge. Cambridge closing in that gap a tiny bit. Less than 70 points now, but still quite a task ahead of them with the 20 minutes left to go. 140 plays 72, so 68-point gap.
Yeah, and we finished the first half with about a 32-point differential.
So it has stretched out a good bit now. Rebellion having the run of it. And we're off. Pip against Grease Lightning.
Two international jammers up against each other.
And Pip just about manages to grab that lead. Nope. In fact, Grease Lightning has picked up a cut track penalty and is off to the box.
So again, we've got Pip on a power jam.
And Pip decides to freeze Grease Lightning in the box.
That's an interesting choice.
Well, I think
Pip has been quite penalty heavy in this. Well, no, not quite penalty heavy, but does have a few penalties. Has tended to be someone I think that maybe refs are watching for those penalties. So,
and Pip has, of course, also been putting in quite a lot of work.
Yes.
And maybe it's just saving her strength.
Yeah, maybe saving some energy. Yeah, we are getting close to halfway through the second half of this game. There's about 19 minutes left on the clock. We are in a team timeout, which has been called by.
But we are on day 2, and we can see that Sirius Block there making some faces at somebody in the audience, I think.
Yeah, I'd hazard a guess who. Yes, I think there's a parent in the audience. Yeah, Sirius Block, ex-junior skater, just aged up very, very recently. So yeah, part of Team GB Juniors. Probably why after two very hard games in the weekend, Sirius Block's the only one with the energy to still be kind of doing little dancey things on the track, while everyone else is like, oh God, is it nearly over yet?
Is it nearly over yet? Not quite. We still have about a third of the game to go. Rebellion now currently on exactly 2-1 points. So for every point Cambridge have, Rebellion right now they have 2. And Grease Lightning, of course, in the box along with a Cambridge blocker, so that makes it nice and easy for Pandemonium to slip along the inside.
That was that great coordinated offense again from Rebellion. They kind of all picked a person, swarmed around and just left the inside lane wide open for Pandemonium.
Yeah, Pandemonium now not quite so easy this time around, but still getting some lovely offense there. That Cambridge wall just being constantly ripped apart by Rebellion, but Rebellion now having to set up to catch Grease Lightning. She comes back onto the track.
Doing a great job here of waterfalling and staying together in front of that jammer, covering the whole line. Pandemonium is a great, will be all over the track. We'll go from 1 to 4 to 1 to 4.
And eventually.
Until a gap opens.
Yeah. Until the blockers just can't keep up anymore.
Yeah, kind of one of those jammers that you need to not be twitchy with. You kind of need to hold your ground, cover the whole track.
Which is difficult when you have, say, JT coming in and taking out your brace.
Yes.
Again and again.
There's been quite a lot of times this weekend that I've wanted to sing Wrecking Ball in my head because skaters really are coming in like wrecking balls.
Well, you know, it works. Got to knock down those walls somehow. Sirius Block taking another seat in the box. Now tied with Pip for highest number of penalties on Rebellion side. 4 each.
So Pandemonium was taken out to the outside line, but finds that space. Again, we've got Headers with the star pass. Rebellion opting to run the jam long, but Headers is out and having a little bit of fun now.
Yeah, out and scoring.
Yeah, and doing a bit of offensive jamming, blocking Pandemonium off the track. And yeah, forces Pandemonium to call off the jam.
Before any more points are picked up. Ooh. Green are calling an official review. Let's find out what that's about.
Yeah, so we will keep an eye on our messages and find out what that official review is about, and we'll let you know as soon as we know. In the meantime, some more of the questions that we asked our teams in advance of the competition. So we asked, what's the main strength that your team brings to the competition? And Cambridge said that they are the nicest bunch of weirdos you'll meet all weekend. I don't know, I've met a lot of very nice weirdos here, but Cambridge are particularly nice weirdos.
I don't believe I've actually had the pleasure of speaking to anybody in Cambridge.
They're very nice and a bit weird. And Rebellion said that their main strength is determination, strength and endurance. So, and I think we've seen that this weekend. They had some really tough games, and they don't look like a team that had a really, really tough game yesterday. They look like a team with fresh legs at the moment. They said their quiet achievers on their team are Steph, Sentence and Kiki.
Whereas Cambridge, they don't have any quiet achievers because nobody in the Rollerbillies HQ is quiet.
Again, from what I know of Cambridge, can confirm. I'm lucky enough to have played some of the people on these teams quite a few times, so I know quite a lot of both of these teams quite well and have a big soft spot in my heart for both of these teams and a lot of the people on them. So it's really nice to have a chance to be on this call and see these teams playing each other.
Yeah. Lengthy referee discussion now.
Green, so that's Cambridge, are challenging Rebellion's pivot, assisting the black jammer with the shirt hold, as they believe their blocker was actively blocking the black jammer. So essentially, I believe that Cambridge are looking for a multiplayer on either the jammer from the previous jam or the blocker that was offering the assist. I don't know which gators that was. Alex, who was the jammer in the previous jam? Because my ADHD's kicking in real hard at this point in the tournament and I can't remember. So that was Pandemonium, wasn't it? 271, yeah.
Yeah. I think illegal assists are a subset of illegal contact, so that must be what they're requesting in that case. If they're requesting an illegal assist.
Okay.
So that is saying that the jammer was using someone to keep themselves inbounds when they shouldn't have been.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that fell under kind of a multiplayer because it was a unbreakable link. But yes, definitely they are looking for a penalty. Nice little close-up of our referees. Their Stormy hit 200 games yesterday.
Yeah, but nobody has gone to the box, so we can safely surmise that that OR has not been retained.
Yep. Have had that confirmed by our house announcers. No call still stands. Official review lost, but they've had a nice little rest. Couple of minutes of break there.
Yeah. And there we see Cambridge blocker off to the box, but Renchi now at the front, picks up the lead, powering through the Rebellion wall. There's Fowler sitting in the box.
Frenchie is incredibly hard to stop whenever you let her pick up any momentum whatsoever.
Yeah, Cambridge opting to go for offense instead of setting up the wall, given that Airy Fairy is still about half a track behind. Frenchie decides to call it off rather than risk it though, and picks up 1 point. 77 plays, 156, as we come into the final quarter of this game.
Yeah, it's a very exciting game still. Penalties again, still very even. This time it's Cambridge with one more than Rebellion have got. Now we're back to our jammer matchup of Jam Stoker and Pip.
Yeah. Jam Stoker also pushing Pip a little bit, forcing her onto that outside line where she's held a little bit by the Cambridge wall for a moment, but manages to push through and stay in bounds. So now half a track behind your lead jammer, who is Jam Stoker. And Serious Block picks up another penalty, goes to the box. Officially at risk.
That was absolutely stunning offense from those two Cambridge blockers in particular, holding that inside line wide open for Jam. And Jam Stoker doesn't even need that much space.
No.
But beautiful wide open line there for Jam Stoker to pick up the 4 and call the jam. I do love to see good offence.
Good offence
Really
is always
good,
lovely.
really smart, really effective offence. Just warms my heart.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got somebody now on 5 penalties. That is serious block.
Yeah, officially at risk, as I said. Thundercows and Grease Lightning now. Cambridge enjoying that one blocker advantage, but Rebellion doing a good job of holding back Cambridge's jammer. Some defensive offense by Rebellion 1-3, and Thundercows just pushing those last defenders out of play at the front. Picks up lead jammer status, and around scoring, Grease Lightning meanwhile just sort of stuck at the back.
The Cambridge wall setting up there a good 7 or 8 feet in front of the Rebellion wall, which means they only had about 2 feet until they had to start dropping a bridge.
Yes, and unfortunately there it looks like we have someone going to the box from Rebellion for a path destruction.
Yeah, that's Boris, and we also have Fowler from Cambridge off to take a seat in the box as well. Didn't see what that was.
That was back block.
Ah, that's just popped up as I looked away.
Oh no, Fowler has Fowler also has a position, but
yeah.
Somebody, second Cambridge blocker off to the box on a back block, smash hits off on a back block. So box quite busy right now. 3 blockers, 2 for Cambridge, 1 for Rebellion, as Not Out of Hell and Pandemonium line up. The walls on opposing ends of the starting area.
Wow. Is everyone going to stay where they are? No, Rebellion are going to go back, as I say, otherwise we'll have ourselves a little immediate no pack.
Rebellion doing some immediate offense, knocking the wall towards their jammer, funnily enough, but it still works, and Pandemonium out. Not Out of Hell in the meantime being recycled.
Yeah, huge hit out to the outside line from JT.
Ooh, big hits all around. But Pandemonium now beating that last defender on the first scoring pass.
And again, great awareness from JT going back towards the pack, which of course then meant that headers was out of play. So no offence of a physical nature needed.
Yeah, you can simply move so that they can't block.
JT's offence has been consistently very good in this game.
Yes. Pandemonium, second scoring pass completed, coming in for the third, while Not Out of Hell still on that initial, still not being able to beat that Rebellion wall. Holding the star at the back, hoping for some assistance from headers. And there we are, we can see a really sneaky star pass just on the outside, and headers instantly sprinting forward. Caught just at the end there, but I think managed to stay in bounds, but the jam ends anyway.
That was Boris absolutely sprinting towards headers, which just, I mean, it struck fear into my heart, and I wasn't even the one
being
that
hunted
Boris
by
was
Boris.
hurtling towards. I am all the way up here, well out of the way of that, and yet my stomach did a little backflip on behalf of headers.
Well, Pip and Frenchie lining up now. We're closing in on those last 10 minutes.
Oh, Pip down the outside line like lightning.
Lead in less than 5 seconds.
I was going to say like Grease Lightning, but I didn't want that to be confusing with the Cambridge Jammer, who is in fact called Grease Lightning.
Indeed. Pip also threw on that scoring pass very quickly. An attempt at an apex jump doesn't go quite right for Frenchie. Recycled all the way back. And indeed picks up a penalty.
Back block penalty, I think.
Yeah, and Pip again immediately freezing the Cambridge Jammer in the box.
I'm not sure if did Pip realise, or was that a bench call? But yes, this will be a full 30 seconds power jam at the beginning of this jam for Rebellion. They've chosen to put Airy Fairy on the line for that.
Hopefully Airy Fairy will enjoy that. Fowler now also officially at risk. And in the box alongside the Cambridge Jammer. Airy Fairy is your lead.
more brilliant offense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Look, when jammers just don't have to really do any work to get through the pack. And they don't have to expend any energy, I should probably say.
Yeah, but now the pack very compressed, and of course Rebellion waiting for the return of Frenchie. Frenchie does have the star in hand, knocks over the Rebellion blocker, but that is deemed to have been done with a forearm, so Frenchie straight back to the box.
Yeah, I think that was Mythical that bore the brunt of Frenchie going, I'm back.
I'm back, and yeah.
So a no earned pass being taken for Airy Fairy there, so able to jump straight back on the track. Last line of defence is headers.
And JT now going to the box, and jam is called. Gap now over 100 points. So Rebellion have really managed to pull ahead, closing in on that second century, while Cambridge still 19 points off their first century, but there's quite the gap, and we've only 8 minutes left.
Yes, yeah, the gap has opened up now to more what we were all expecting, I think. I mean, like I said at the beginning of this game, Cambridge have done just incredibly well this year to finish second in their Tier 2.
Yeah. Thundercast just held by a single Cambridge blocker there for a good long while until they are recycled.
Yeah, that was Fowler having a nice little cuddle with Thundercast, I think.
Well, I think Thundercast didn't really appreciate that. Might have liked to make good use of that power start. But it looks like Frenchie has opted not to put the star back on.
Yeah, so lead is open for Thundercast, but won't be open for Frenchie.
Well, it's interesting because I think at no point during this jam has Frenchie actually put the star on. But of course, you do need to have the star on when you're passing everybody on your initial in order to get lead.
Yes, that's true. So I guess if Frenchie puts the star back on and goes back and passes everybody, would be eligible for lead, because the wording of the rules is that if you remove the star, and if you never had it on, you can't remove it.
Yes, but I don't think Frenchie intends on that.
I mean, I wouldn't go back and pass all those blockers again.
Rebellion now, 2 blockers in the box. One with the forearms. And one with the direction. Frenchie now around and scoring, but not your lead jammer.
No, and once you've exited the engagement zone for the first time, that's it. That's your opportunity gone.
Your trips go up, and
that was a direction penalty. It all went very quiet in the room, and I heard that ref call really clearly from up here. It was a direction call on JT.
Yeah. Very briefly, Rebellion only with a single blocker on the track, but we have Wreckham Ralph returning from the box. Thundercast, of course, still stuck, and I believe has removed the star and is not eligible for lead. So that was a 2-minute jam. Yeah, it was a 2-minute jam. So Frenchie, with amazing awareness there, got taken to the outside line by Boris, went over the line, but managed to jump straight back on the track again before Boris had a chance to run back. So we saw Boris trying to do the recycle, running back, holding hands up like, whoa, the jam will cut. But yeah, Frenchie was very, very quick to get back on the track there and able to carry on. We are going into an official timeout.
So a whole 2-minute jam where we only managed to put 4 points on the board.
Well, the blockers are definitely doing good work.
The blockers, the blockers have been doing absolutely. I mean, the jammers have been great in this game, but the blockers have been doing phenomenal defensive work all of this game. I was watching Pip and Sirius Block have a little dance-off or something on the line.
Having a chat with their hands.
Doing some kind of hand gestures. Everyone looks like they're having a lovely time. I'm seeing a lot of smiles on the track, which is really nice. A lot of hugs. And
always helpful. Yep.
Always my favourite thing about roller derby is seeing kind of 2 skaters from opposing teams having a little hug between jams.
Yeah.
And they're having a really nice time.
Bit of dancing going off, keeping yourself warm while the official timeout is going on, but the refs now back to their position, so it looks like we will be restarting. Cambridge, 8-wheel advantage, of course, but as we said, Pip does count for 16 wheels all by herself, so I suppose Cambridge with an 8-wheel disadvantage.
Yes, Rebellion don't have the luxury of being able to put a blocker on offense, but they do have the luxury of Pip.
They do, but in this particular instance, Jam Stoker wins the race for lead.
I think we announced as cursed Pip there. Sorry, Pip.
Cambridge forming that 2-wall at the front again, but a little bit too late. Call out of play. Pip is coming around after the initial.
Oh, that offense again. Just perfectly timed and beautifully taken by Jam Stoker. Really, really, I actually remarked upon this yesterday. Cambridge's jammer offense awareness is better than I think any of the teams that I've seen this weekend. The intuition that they seem to have between blockers and jammers, because it's not just about blockers being able to do really good offense that's really well timed and be in the right place. The jammers have to put themselves in a position where they can take it and have to have fast enough feet to take it, and be ready for it and be aware that it's happening, and it always seems to come together really nicely for Cambridge.
Yeah, Cambridge this time did run into their own wall, and we can see Boris ripping through the Cambridge wall, trying to give Pandemonium the lead, but unfortunately Pandemonium picks up a penalty.
There's a back block penalty on Pandemonium.
Yeah, straight to the box, and this can be a risk if you have drilled star passes really well, that if you hear a whistle early on and you're the jammer, you might take the star off. But of course, Grease Lightning has not done that, so still eligible for lead. And
of course, we do get the situation sometimes where the jam ref whistles lead, not realising that there has been a penalty given by another referee, and then lead actually turns out to still be open. So if you are very, very quick off the mark occasionally, it doesn't always play out.
But that is not the case here, and we're now into the last 4 minutes. Grease Lightning caught by Rebellion. Offense there by Baby Jesus, but it's not quite enough.
And there's the jammer multiplayer.
The rare jammer multiplayer.
From the shirt whip. So that's the situation I was thinking about earlier when I was thinking about it being a multiplayer. Was forming that kind of unbreakable link with a teammate by holding onto their shirt. And if that link is challenged,
has to be dropped.
Then, yeah. And then otherwise, that's how jammers get multiplayer blocks.
Indeed. So Pandemonium pack on the initial. Held by Cambridge. No offense no, there is offense coming from
Steph Sentence.
But the rest of the Rebellion wall obviously waiting for the return of Grease Lightning.
That sounds like it should be a movie title.
2-minute jam. No points scored. No initials for both jammers.
Wow, is that our first scoreless jam of the game, Alex? I think. First completely scoreless jam. Nope, I can't see any. So yeah, I think that's. Oh no, jam 40. No, not sure. Possibly, yeah, jam 14
we're back
in the first
here.
half.
Cambridge now with Headers and Fowler both in the box on forearms. And oh dear, that was a power jam where someone did take the star off, just as we mentioned. So this will be another 2-minute jam. I do believe.
Has a leg block been given to Airy Ferry?
That is indeed a leg block.
We just testing Painbow's knowledge of penalty codes. No, it's been typed in wrong. It was a forearms. I have never seen a leg block in my life. Thought today was a magical day, but no.
Alas. Not out of hell being recycled there, but the recycler taken out. By a big hit.
That was Fowler, I think, with the big hit.
Coming back from the box. That is an unfortunate place to be standing in Fowler's way.
Oh, JT, that offense again cleared the whole inside line for Airy Ferry.
So Airy Ferry now out and scoring. Not out of hell, trying to call it, but of course took the star off, can't be lead. So we are continuing with either the last or the second last jam, I do think.
The last 10 minutes has gone awfully quickly. I thought we still had quite a lot of time left in this game, but...
No, we're winding down, but we will have another jam after this. There is enough time for the lineup after this.
Yeah.
Rebellion, of course, Airy Fairy now helping Rebellion across the second century mark, 200 to 89. The Cambridge blocker is off to the box.
That reforming Rebellion immediately. Serious block only had to hold Nat out of hell for a couple of seconds before the rest of the Rebellion blockers just reappeared at the front.
Yes. We will probably have a short official timeout, unfortunately. There is a substitution required in the box.
Oh, Fowler.
Oh, Fowler.
We do have one blocker for Rebellion sitting on 6 penalties. I keep saying points instead of penalties.
Oh, it looks actually like time will run out.
Yeah, I think we were just slightly
about ran out.
I think we were 27 seconds left on the clock when the jam ended. Nobody seems to have called any kind of timeout or official review in order to trigger another jam.
So there we have the unofficial score, 205 to 93.
Referees are high-fiving each other. Big Whoop has gone into the middle to speak to the skaters.
Yep.
I think possibly to say, look, theoretically there was an official timeout at the end of the jam. We could probably have another jam, but the score differential's that big. Should we maybe just not?
Perhaps. And no, indeed, we have gone to the final score. There we have it, 205 to 93. Rebellion improve on their last result over Cambridge.
Yes, amazing. Great work from both of these teams. Actually, that's... Yes, very, very slightly different differential, isn't it? Because that's 112 points difference, whereas last time it was a 70-point differential between them. So well done to both these teams. Yep. Well done to Rebellion for winning almost every single game that you've played this year. Well done to Cambridge for a, quite frankly, incredible start to being in Tier 2.
Yeah. First year in Tier 2, finishing in 4th place overall.
Absolutely, yeah, 4th place out of all of the Tier 2 teams.
To Rebellion, your bronze medalists 2025.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, so they all get medals, they will get their little hardware. We have got 57 plays 88 on track 2 at the moment. Wiltshire trailing Bristol by 31 points.
And that is, of course, the Tier 2 gold medal game, yes. So head on over there.
Yeah, so I've had a lovely time. I have been over the painbow. We've got one more game left on this track.
We do. I'll be announcing that. I've been jugger. I'll not be stream announcing that, so you won't hear me again this weekend.
And I'll be producing for you. Thank you very much to Alex is on Fire for producing for us for this game. Thank you all very much for joining us. Thank you.
And we'll see you another time.